Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of Third Age Reforged. My name is Mighty Eskimo 6 and thank you for joining me today. And as you can see, I am on the move! This is 3v5 Siege of Karnan, and um, while I'm setting up, well, the defenders are going to set up, we'll do the army comms as we can totally see them. I have lots of Tier Thera marksmen running as well as some Dornadel archers, more Tier Thera marksmen. I actually have 2 units of Dismounted Knights of the Silver Swan. I have 2 units of Belfast Marines, 2 units of Black Swan Renegades, 2 units of Dornadel Pikemen, 3 units of Edelon Halberds, right there. There's another unit of my pikemen, and my general is in the Haven Knights unit wherever he may be, because he's so cool like that. And I did give lots of experience upgrades to some of my units and whatnot. Over here I have 2 units of Knights of the Silver Swan. They also were upgraded. And we have a catapult, as well as another Black Swan Renegades over there. Over here, my ally is the Realm of Lothlorien, led by CPTgervais. He has some Elder Council and some Rangers, the Great Catalan's Guardians, whoopsie-doo. We also have some Swordmasters and some March Wardens of the Wood, some Axemen. We have some Spearmen, some Blade Masters, and more Watchers of the Wood. We have more Warriors, more Kindred of Celeborn. Very, very nice indeed. Over here we have Lorien Archers, Lorien Swordmasters, and more March Wardens of the Wood, Elder Council, Spearmen, Axemen, some Archers, some very, very good indeed. And I believe there is one more really exceptional unit, but I don't know. Anyway, my final ally, is Scouts of Entertainment. He has, he's leading Rivendell. He has, or Imladris. He has some Archers of Rivendell, and he has some Nortino Warriors, led by more Imladris Guardians, Elder Enway Spearmen, and more Elder Enway Spearmen as well. The rest of his army's coming up here. Imladris Guardians. We have some Gwathi Mirdian, more Imladris Guardians, more Elder Enway Swordsmasters, some Imladris Sentries actually over here. And we have some Spears of Rivendell. And over here we have Spears of Rivendell and some River Wards. And let us not forget, in the back he has some, those are mine, but he does have some Gwathi Rokhdor. Alright, so that's it while my army, or while our armies are setting up. Oh, Kindred of Celeborn. I do believe this is nope, never mind. Anyway, going over here to the first army, we have Rune. Rune has plenty of troops, of course. He has some Lookgamp Rim, Camul's Shadow Guard, Eastron Crossbowmen, and Baelcloth's Tribesmen. Eastron Crossbowmen, Lok Scion Rim, some Flag Rim, and some Nar Rim, some more Shadow Bows, some Scion Rim, Flag Rim, Eastron Crossbowmen, the dreaded Camul's Chosen, and more Gamp Rim all the way over here, along with more Gamp Rim and more Shadow Guard. Alright, over here we have the Realm of Dornwinion, led by Unknown Soldier. Oh, did I mention that Rune was led by Isaac Newton? Because it is. Dornwinion is led by Unknown Soldier. He has some Elvelen Marksman and Vineguard, so these guys are very tanky. They will take lots of damage, but they will not give it. And he also has lots of hidden units. He has many Elvelen infantry units here, as well as some more Quendi Bows and some more Quendi Blade Masters. And over here, the Hammer Guard with his general. Next on to the next ally is Mordor, led by Ai. We have some Orcs Javelins, Olag High. We have some Orc Fodder in the front and Morannon infantry in the middle, led by, or behind, some Orc Maulers, some Troll Drummers, Black Guard of Baradur. We have Temple Executioners, Temple Guard, Sauron's Will, 2 units of them, as well as some Nazgul. I just forgot where. And then on the fourth attacker, we have Umbar. We'll start with his skirmishing force. He has some Corsair infantry. They have some armor, and a couple of our guys are on fire at will, but ignore that. Some Corsair infantry are up front. Some Shield Guard, and I can't say that. Shield Guard, so those are very good spearmen indeed. He has some Elecrondas Legion, some of the bread and butter of Umbar on sieges and everything, just so good. And we have some Belliger Pikemen, and so like 2 units of them. We also have some Belliclif Axguard. Actually, hold up. Hold the crap up. No, I do have it. Alright, that's good. Never mind. I just thought I was wrong. We have some Belliclif Axguard. We have some Narauer Sentinels. We have a Trebuchet. And we have the Harbingers of Castamere with his general over there. Over here we have Harad, led by Beast Mode. We have some Haradrim Archers, some Southron Archers, some Southron Pikemen. These guys are actually AP, Armor Piercing, and Melee, so that's really good for a Pike unit. We have some Dismounted Serpent Guard, some Trollmen of Harad, and some Muhad Warriors, and more Muhad Beast Tamers, Dismounted Serpent Guard, more Muhad Warriors going in, and Muhad Berserkers as well. Here we have the Champions of Nosferat with his general right there. We also have some Muhad Berserkers, and I'm pretty sure that's everything. He has lots of Trollmen and Dismounted Serpent Guard. So, yeah, as we can see over here, as the battle is beginning, we have the Orc Fodder charging up. Ah, there we go. There's the Nazgul. Alright, so it does seem that Mordor is... This, as some of you may know, this battle was taken from the stream that Scouts did just a little bit ago. I was involved in it, as well as, of course, clearly Captain Gervais. But on the stream, he was definitely very adamant that this took him by surprise. This assault by Mordor took him by surprise. And to be honest, it kind of took us all by surprise, because I was busy trying to go over here. I was telling him, hey, yeah, this is a spot that that gets taken, or that you can climb up of. I was trying to position everyone around, and you know, spots where they could be useful, and decide which units that were which, you know, could be in. It was crazy. But anyway, while I'm panicking, trying to put up my troops in their own spot, I'm hearing Scouts panic, and I use that I'm telling you the truth. Scouts was panicking when he saw this charge, and to be honest, looking back, it's hilarious. This is absolutely a gutsy move, and it's almost worked. To be honest, if he would have pushed even more troops in than what he had, it would have worked. He would have punched through. He would have done absolute mad amounts of damage. We do see that the Archers of Rivendell are firing straight down into these guys. Right over here, the Black Guard of Barad-dûr. And these pikemen, these elven pikemen are trying to do what they can, but they can't. They just get pushed in too, which, pardon me, Scouts does use to his advantage with his Norrentino warriors. He's just firing again, I use that point blank is very bad, but it's right down the middle. Our orcs, shoot them down the middle. And now we have the Olag High coming in. Sorry for a little bit of lag. There are lots of units on the battlefield, as well as, man, isn't Karnan just beautiful? I just want more people to play this map because it's gorgeous. Anyway, Scouts have sent some of the Eladris Guardians to come in and help shore up, especially fighting against the Olag High. They're fighting. We do have the drum trolls in the back. The troll drummers, they're trying to keep the morale up high. They need it for these orc maulers they don't have the best of morale. And also the orc fodder, which, I mean, they're fodder. What can you expect? So Mordor definitely was very aggressive in this, trying to punch our defenses. But Scouts, I have to say, did a commendable job trying to hold them back. Over on this flank over here, we have Rune going. Rune and Dorwinian, actually, both of them are marching forward. And on this flank over here, we do have Harad. He's going to take the assault up this path. So we were prepared, or so we felt. I was definitely prepared if they were coming through this section. I was sending in some of my halberds, because they were the closest unit that I had. But Scouts was telling me, no, I think I got it this time. I mean, I was unsure about this. I mean, as we see more and more Mordor troops, just a lot of them are just chilling here. And but he did have some more Eladris Guardians and some Eldarin Swordmasters coming in. So, and also some Elder Council by Gervais coming in as well. And the March Wardens were getting a very good defensive position right along this ridge right here. And so scouts said, no, we're good. Help my Elder and my Spearmen. And so that's what I did. And yes, indeed, they were a little weaker, but I did send them in, and the line was being shored up quite nicely. Something that N1 Breakout I feel could have done just a little bit better. I'm not sure if he used all of the Corsair infantry ammo or not, but it just seems that they were committed. So Gervais is doing a wonderful job, absolutely wonderful by peppering them from above. He's doing, I say he's probably the MVP of this battle, just of our team. Just so you know, a person who was involved. Just I feel like he's the MVP. But we do have some Orc Javelins charging into the Elder Council, trying to silence them. And over here I do have my champions going in, Parrot Heel champions. Yeah, they're very good, and they're very flashy too. I mean, look at them. They're just all white and just all nice looking, and just looks really nice indeed. Anyway, I'm trying to send more troops over this way. I do believe I have some Black Swan Renegades being committed into the fray. So just got to be on the lookout for any possible locations that could be used. Over here we have the Belager Pikemen trying to force their way through, but this is a lethal phalanx right over here. And Scouts he's holding on by a bare thread, I believe. His archers of Rivendell are being committed. More and more Mordor troops are being committed, and so we lost this little choke point right here, but luckily there was this other choke point that his troops were on, so this is good. But these Blackguard, they're just pushing. Oh my goodness, are they pushing? They're pushing harder. Oh man. Ooh, hard. No, I don't want to say that. That'd be sounding so weird. My roommate just gave me a look that I'm glad I didn't say it. Over here, Sauron's Will, man. My goodness, those guys. This is just a very bold push by and so just really trying to push their way through. They would have probably done a little bit better if they pushed through the archers of Rivendell, and that way they would have caught these guys. But hindsight is 20/20, of course. And we have my Black Swan Renegades coming in, pincering, attacking these Orc Javelins. They are routing the Orc Javelins. The Pitcher champions are trying to fight them off. But over here we have Morannon infantry coming in, and they're going to wrap around and crush this phalanx, because it's actually doing all it can, fighting one way. But actually, another unit of halberds are coming in and pinning these guys down. These Orc Maulers are routing, and rightfully so. I mean, fighting a whole bunch of elves is scary. Over here, Rune is trying to get a little bit closer. They are peppering the phalanxes that we have set up, the defenders, and things are doing pretty good. He has some. Isaac has some Loknarim using Flaming Shot. Back here, we are trying to skirmish, or no, actually that's some routing guys. But we will be using our cavalry fairly soon. So back to over here, Harad is pushing forward, but has met fierce resistance by 2 units, just 2, Lorient Spearmen and Edhilon Halberdiers. So we'll keep an eye on those guys. It'll be worth it. Oh, sorry. Over here to the Mordor fight, with the assistance of the champions and the halberds and the Black Swan Renegades, wherever they are. Oh, there they are. So definitely the fight has been turning around, even though Scouts did such a wonderful job at holding these guys back for as long as he did, for how surprised they took us. Actually, over here, yeah, we do have a handful of Black Swan Renegades who charged forward, and we're trying to now capture these routing units before they come back, because you never know. More of Scouts' troops are coming out, and in the back here we do have the Temple Guard and the Temple Executioners. They're coming forward, just they're keeping a distance, but definitely causing a bit of a threat. Over here, yet more of more of the Renegades are charging out. Scouts did let me know that I was sallying out and I should pull back, and eventually I do. These these drummers they're gonna die very soon, but still we have one Olag High left. He's gonna be very difficult to take down. More champions just flowing in, and now these halberds are going, and they're being sent back to this this fight over here, which is absolutely intense. These shield guard are relentless. These Belegar pikemen are absolutely out. They outreach my halberds. They do, which is not good, but they are getting a little bit close, which is what my halberds need. They need the shorter distance to get in, and so now they're there providing defense. While over here we have the March Wardens, and they're just firing down. My goodness, are they just doing a good job? Sir Gervais did a really good job. So I asked if I needed to leave any troops here, and scouts said no, we're good, especially with Lothlorien here. And so I said, all right, I'm going to go and help this flank over here. So over here we have more of ice troops, and definitely they are butchering these Elder Enway Swordmasters, the Temple Executioners and Temple Guard. They're just too many, and I'm not going to say too elite, but these Elder Enway Swordmasters and Ladris Guardians, they're just out in the open, and it's just a little too much for these guys to hold back. Over here, Rune is advancing his flag rim, while the Lorient archers are engaging with the Loknarim, and the Loxion are also climbing up this tower, or this ramp, going to potentially catch scouts out of position, but we do have more troops at the ready to do stuff. Over here we do have a cav engagement. We have the Knights of the Silver Swan over here, and the Gwathi Arthand, we're somewhere. In comes the catapult shot. There are a couple of good shots on these Morquendi bows, but they were slightly more staggered than hoped. These Knights of the Silver Swan were sadly poorly microed, and when I remembered them, and they were sadly butchered. Over here, the Gwathi Arthand, though, the Gwathi Rokdor are engaging a couple of the Scion Rim, but they're definitely a lot more effective. Scouts was doing a bit more better micro than I was. More fire arrows coming in as the Flag Rim are advancing and fighting the warriors, but my pikemen are moving in to assist. Definitely over here, the Brunei, the Miri, the River Wards and the Gwathi Mirdan are engaging the Lake Scion Rim along with the Lorient archers, and they're gonna get butchered. They're gonna survive for a bit, but they're just gonna get butchered pretty bad indeed. Over here, there's just a handful, I believe, of Nazgul, or there were some Nazgul that were just doing pretty number, but yep, there we go. 3 Nazgul are just fighting here, and that's why the Realm of Lothlorien has the Elder Council here trying to get rid of them. And way more archers are going after these Orc Javelins, because they can cause a lot of damage for how much they cost. Over here, the Trebuchet is being committed, as well as my Paradale Champions. They are being withdrawn. I'm not sure to where, but also my Halberds are being withdrawn too. But I have engaged, these guys are engaged. The Elecronus Legion is fighting. I think we saw the Trebuchet, and we're trying to get these guys out of there. But we will see. More March Wardens, Elder Council. But over on this side, though, with Harad, well, the Spearmen are still going strong, and the Halberds are right there behind them. And, yeah, they're just chilling. So, the Spearmen are trying to fight their way through, and Southron archers are trying to fire over at these Belfalas Marines. A couple of them have died, but the arcing is just terrible. So, more and more engaging. Over here, the Trebuchet is trying to fire, and does score a very nice hit, I have to admit. Again, there were a lot of places, and my micro was terrible. I do admit that fully. But we're trying to make do with what we have. The defenders, definitely a big folly on my part. The Trebuchet is loading up again, and another good hit on my champions. That's just really bad. I mean, it's satisfying to watch, except when I realize that they're mine, and just... Anyway, continuing on, the Elecronda's Legion is trying to push through. They're doing a very good job, but the Elder Enway Spearmen and the Halberds are kind of barely holding on. The Trebuchet just gets a little bit more, not too much. But over here, Dismounted Knights of the Silver Swan are moving in to be committing. Halberds over here. Gwathi Rokdor, not not running away. Again, scouts did say that he did mess up on his micro over here. He did sally out a little bit, or Gervais did sally out just a little bit with his warriors, probably much to our detriment. But there are lots of troops over here. There are some Lorient archers firing down, which is pretty dang good. Over here, again, another just really good Eldrenway archers and Lorient archers. These guys are just lethal at what they do. More firing down. These guys are routing. Sad to say. But over here, it looks like after our Cav presence has effectively been nullified, Dorwinian looks like it's going to begin its advance on our, or it has begun its advance, sorry to say, against our back line, which is breaking, sad to say. It's just Dornil pikemen and a couple of Lorient spearmen. Now the spearmen are doing much better on that against Harad, but these Lorient spearmen, they're definitely trying to cover a lot more, and more troops are pushing forward. But we do have some swordmasters here to assist. My catapult is over here. We have our own artillery to bear, and eventually we will use it somehow. We have the Kindred of Celeborn or Celeborn, however you want to say it, C or K, but they're about to fire sometime soon. We have more Dismounted Knights of the Silver Swan, and we will head back into the action with Umbar, and with, never mind, that was the wrong place, and with Umbar, and Umbar is definitely broken through our rear defenses. We have the March Wardens of the Wood engaged in melee, and the Dismounted Knights of the Silver Swan are trying to charge in. Elder Council are trying to do what they can, and the Halberds, they are pulling back. I don't really remember why, but I think it was because this giant amount of troops were just coming in and crushing us. Poor Black Swan Renegades and Halberds and Eldrenway troops. Very, very sad to see. In this trebuchet is, I hate you. I hate you. You'll see why. We have my archers. They have engaged in melee, not doing all that well, but they are buying time for these archers in the back over here to fire. These Thyr marksmen, they're trying to do what they can. They have a pretty good position firing down, but there's only so much they can do. These Dismounted Knights of the Silver Swan, although very elite, are definitely giving these guys a run for their money, but the Eldecrondus Legion, of course, is just really, really good. We will head over back to Harad just to say hi to Harad, see if they moved at all, and no, they did not. I did move my halberds out, and this is where they are. They're being committed elsewhere. Over here are rangers, just so everybody knows. I have marksmen on the way. Dismounted Knights of the Silver Swan are advancing. Over here we have the swordmasters. They have been committed. Gervais is preparing his troops over here, and the Kindred of Celeborn are firing their very fancy arrows. I do like it. I mean, it's multi-shot, it looks like, and it just warms my heart to see such just really, really nice arrow fire. It just looks so cool. I love it. Anyway, there are some troops routing over here. I do have a handful of knights, one knight of the Silver Swan. That's all I got. But this is Dorwinian, and maybe a couple of hidden troops. But the Vanguard are taking it very well. Like I said, they have very high armor, and they also have shields. So a couple of them are dying, but they are taking lots of damage in the same time. So now the Dorwinian Vanguard have broken through and are going after my marksmen. They did not have a chance to fire, but now they're going to engage in melee. Catapult hasn't been used yet, just waiting for probably a better time. There's always going to be another time. Over here we have some Mortino warriors retreating, and Rune does not have much infantry left. They do have lots of skirmishing power though, and which can be very, very lethal indeed. We're going to head back over to the Umbar Rune front, Umbar Mordor front, where the Dismounted Knights of the Silver Swan are engaging on all sides. The Alucronda's Legion and the Corsair Crossbowmen, They have a very good angle, and they're going to bring these guys down faster than you can say some really long word. And there you go. There you guys have it. They're just getting shot, and they're going to fall eventually. There were some units over here, but they did flee. We have just a handful of orc units. There was some fighting, killing some of Scout's troops, but alas, 'tis a shame, 'tis a pity that they died. Over here, now the Nauru Sentinels are advancing, and my archers, they're going against the Blackguard, but of course they are archers and not infantrymen, and they're getting chopped to pieces. So our forces are now trying to retreat, except for Gervais, who's trying to take every opportunity to be a thorn in the attacker's side, which I applaud greatly. Over here, Dorwinion is trying to push his way through, but we have Imladris and Lothlorien fighting back against the Vanguard. We have the Rangers here, who have a very good spot to just fire down along this front line of Dorwinion. Dismounted Knights of the Silver Swan are fighting very, very hard alongside of the Swordmasters and a handful of pikemen, trying to beat them back. So here we go. We have more Vanguard fighting the marksmen, and the catapult, sorry, did land very, very nicely, and this routed the Vanguard. Probably one of the best shots that the defenders had all match. Sad to say. The attackers had way better luck. But definitely we are driving them back. More Archers of Rivendell. The Vanguard over here, yep, one big mass rout happening. And here we see the remnants of Dorwinion retreating. A lot more marksmen, plenty of marksmen, and some Hammer Guard right over here. Very heavily armored, trying to shoot his general down. And we also have the Morquendi Glade Masters. These guys are absolute mad lads, as long as they're not getting shot. Over here, we're going to head over to just take a quick look at how's Rune doing. Rune is just trying to sneak up anywhere they can to fight, and this section has fallen to Mordor and to Umbar. So, very sad to say, but we're just going to take a good look at our friends at Harad. Oh yes, Harad. Harad is falling back, but we still have the 42 Spearmen. What cool guys. Aren't they great? Alright. Over here, we are trying to position some troops. The Halberds are going to try and form another defensive line, trying to fight off or prepare to receive M1 Breakout's troops. While there are still plenty of them, there is that dreaded trebuchet. We do have some Marchwarden of the Wood prepared to fire in a very good location. Over here, we strung crossbowmen. They're ready to fire, and they're setting up alongside Mordor. Over here, we have two phalanxes, some halberds, and some pikemen. Lorient archers are preparing to fire down whenever they want to, and then we also have some axemen prepared. We have covered our retreat, or covered our rear. Gervais is still trying to wrap things up. I did tell him not to go too far, because otherwise he would get killed. I did sacrifice my last knight to the Silver Swan, trying to kill his general, trying to slow him down for the archers to get some shots off. Didn't really work. His rangers are wasting a little bit of fire on the Vanguard over here. But yeah, that's kind of a lot of ammo for killing just a handful of Vanguard. Anyway, we're trying to prepare. Scouts is sending his troops in forward, trying to engage these crossbowmen, because crossbowmen, of course, are very, very deadly when they're allowed to shoot. Over here, Umbar has committed his troops, and I have sent my champions in, and we're trying to stop them. But he's sending his Naru Sentinels. But over here, we have the Marchwardens of the Wood. Oh my goodness, they have just a prime target, guys. The trebuchet is advancing, but man, oh man. We have the Lorient archers going in, sneaking around, going to say hi to Harad for us. There we go. More and more troops are just firing. And this line is going to hold for quite a bit. But over here, there is a little weak point if Umbar decides to push, which we have to be careful of. More and more troops these Marchwardens are just firing and firing and firing. Oh my goodness. And Scouts did say he had to leave. He had to go be a good person, work out his body, go to the gym, be responsible, and he set up a last stand for us. So we decided we would also participate in the last stand. Anyway, more archers. I have Marines over here. My trebuchet, or I'm sorry, my catapult is just. I was concerned. I will admit, I was concerned. I wanted to make sure that Dorwinian, who still has a pretty sizable force, mind you, that can still cause lots of damage, that they wouldn't just come up and wreck us without us knowing. Anyway, back over here to the runic Mordor fight. Imladris is doing quite well holding back, but these Blackguard, they're just, my goodness, Blackguard are just pushing their way through, and there's not that many of them, but they're just doing a good job pushing back the elves. So, in response, we do have the halberds coming on up, trying to support. More crossbowmen, more fighting going on. And over here, hiding away, we have the Harbingers of Castamere and Corsair crossbowmen. We do have a trebuchet here, and it's just trying to stay hidden. And more, the Umbar is pushing his way through. Here is the General of the Watchers of the Golden Wood of Gervais. He is being sent forward, and I have my Tier-Thayer marksmen. They're going to come up too and help try and support this flank. Over here, the Javelins, they're trying to get they threw and got the Blackguard, Axe Guard, whatever they were. No more guardsmen of those types. Anyway, the Trebuchet is firing, and we will see what... Oh, that's it. There we go. See, that is a very lethal thing. The Trebuchet, I don't know if you know this, but the Trebuchet is very tall, and so therefore it can shoot over tall things. You can just set it up like how M1 Breakout just did, and set up right up, say, castle walls and stuff, and it will be perfectly fine, because it can shoot over, but people can't shoot at it, because the wall is in the way. Isn't that great? I love that. But I didn't figure that out myself. No, I'm not that smart. But yeah, we're trying to get at these artillery crewmen. We did pick off quite a bit of them, but as you can see, they're all in staggered formation, and these javelins just like to just stay where they are instead of impale bodies. But archers over here, they're firing right down at these sentinels, trying to do what they can. We'll say hi to Harad. Hi, Harad. Okay, they're still fine. They're just how we left them. Alright, then we'll head over here back to Rune. Rune is doing a pretty good job. They're trying to push. But with this phalanx here, it's going to be very difficult. It's both pikemen and halberds. So, as you can see, the Rune's not going anywhere, but they do have the executioners. Executioners are very, very lethal. Over here, we have the Belcloth tribesmen, who they have just a really good shot on those troops right there, just firing and just felling them fairly quickly. We'll watch another volley from this point of view now. Actually, no, they decided they wanted to go in, get it just a little closer, and the Temple Guard are firing overhead, trying to clash or skirmish down, and there we go, more javelin fire going in. Yep, more axemen coming over here, and Rune still has some troops going in. Look, Gamp Rim being sent up, come little shadow bows. Yeah, it's kind of hard to see with all the golden bodies down here. What a pity. East Front crossbowmen, there's plenty of them, and a whole bunch of those shadow bows. They can still cause a problem. He's not wanting to come up here because he would get crushed by those axemen, but it would still be a pretty worthwhile attempt. Over here, the Kindred of Celeborn, they're prepping. They're just standing menacingly. And then over here, back at the Umbar fight, another good shot. We just barely missed it, but we can see the aftermath and just hit these Belfast Marines. And now these Petra Hill champions are just fighting against the Naur Sentinels. There's not many of them left. And oh my goodness, another direct shot. See, I told you the Trebuchet was mad. I told you I hated the Trebuchet. Now over here, the Corsair crossbowmen are getting shot by the March Wardens, doing a fairly good job. But now the Harbingers are fighting the marksmen, and it's not going all that well for the marksmen. The marksmen they're dropping fairly quickly. And we'll say hi to Harad. Hi, Harad. Alright, more Sentinel. The Sentinels are just fighting. And the Trebuchet, these guys just can't... No, they're out of ammo. that would probably explain it why they're not firing, because that's pretty good angle on those guys. Yeah, if only they had the ability to, you know, fire stuff they didn't have. But now these guys are coming down, and another trebuchet shot, but it misses, thankfully. Gervais is trying to get down in there, but I think skirmish mode was on or something, and it didn't work. Actually, no, it did hit the Elder Council. The Elder Council did take a little bit of damage. Very sad to say. Over here, we'll just head back. The Kindred are just firing. And man, Kindred are doing a good job. Oh. Hey, this looks familiar. Just a little bit. Anyway, Scouts is holding our line, doing what he can. That's around this time that I think he said he was going to leave. He was going to leave his troops up, but he was just going to leave, go to the gym, like the responsible person he is. And over here we have Eldraenway archers. I did ask for him to help protect my catapult, as it was our big thing. But this is a good position for a catapult, and I didn't want to move it. But we do have just a handful of pikemen ready to hold off the remnants of Dorwinion, which are there's still quite a bit. I mean, Dorwinion has some troops left. But we'll head over to Harad. Hi, Harad. Yep, those archers are still holding strong. Back over here, the Elder Council and March Wardens of the Wood, they were not able to go after the artillery crew. They managed to escape. They're right there. But over here, Harad's going to say hi to us. Yeah, there they are. Harad sent a significant portion of his troops. Over here we have the Serpent's Fangs. That's such a cool name, though. But Harad, tired of being stalled by just a handful of troops, the great Persian Empire decided to go around the Spartan phalanx and... Oh, wait. That's wrong history, right? Yeah, I think it's the wrong history. Anyway, over here, the Nandor Glade Guard from Dorwinion is being sent over, and this is kind of the moment where we decided we won't be able to hold them back. But man, these Watchers of the Golden Wood, oh, they're doing such a good job, especially since the Glade Guard are very, very unarmored. Yeah, but they're just flying. They're just flying. Man, they should just grow wings. I mean, they're flying so much, but they're going, and they're getting pretty dang banged up. Glade Guard over here, and they're just very, very good at what they do. These elves are now fighting against the elves, because the Nandor is, you know, elves. But we're just trying to kill these last of the Harbingers. There's only 3 of them left, but still, they don't go down easy. Over here, we still have the Belfast Marines, and we have some sizable troops left. But Rune has broken through, and now... Oh, man, near misses. Oh, wait, no, I think I did. Yes, indeed I did. I missed this, but we did char a lot of those Temple Executioners. But there's still plenty of troops left. And now the Dismounted Knights of the Silver Swan are ready to embrace the doom they have to protect the catapult. And yes, indeed, there was a little bit of friendly fire. 'Tis a pity. Another hit on the enemy forces right there, scoring just a few of them dying. But over here, the Kemul's chosen. They're going to circle around, and my pikemen decided they're going to get out of there. They won't be able to hold the line. The door is now open as the Halberds are retreating into the Dorwinion forces. Pikemen are trying to retreat, trying to get to somewhere safe. Over here we have warriors, archers, and axemen. But the Kindred are shooting up, which is, of course, really is bad. And I don't even know where their arrows went, but they would do a lot better shooting at these tribesmen right here. But I do believe they are out of ammo, and they're going to go dual wield in and try and kill things. Again, another volley, but again, they're in loose formation, not going to do all that well. Dismounted Knights of the Silver Swan, they're protecting right behind the archers. So Lothlorien is going all in, but there's just a lot of runic troops. Over here. All skirmishers, basically, which is pretty bad. Very close miss over there, and another miss over there as well. But Camul's chosen. That was a miss. But now the problem is Dorwinian has come forward and are applying pressure. The pikemen have decided to make their stand against the hammer guard, while the Elder Council are going to do what they can, and which is a very good plan. There we go. They are firing. I just wanted to clarify. But they're going through. They're trying to go for these javelin men who can really pierce their armor and cause these guys to die. And as we can see, some of them have fallen, but these hammer guard are just fairly tough, and they're going to take it. And now the Elder Enway archers are going to do what they can. These dismounted knights of the Silver Swan are trying to escape, but the Camul's chosen have gotten in their way. This is Rune's general, by the way. These dismounted knights of the Silver Swan, they're trying to get away, but now they're pinched by the Avellan hammer guard, another general. These two forces are fighting side by side, and now this dismounted knights of the Silver Swan, they're wavering. This is something you don't see. Dismounted knights of the Silver Swan are routing. You never see that. These guys are just very elite, and they've broken and are routing. Very unfortunate indeed. Over here, the allies have, well, fallen back. They have broken through. The castle is breached, and Lothorian is trying to hold back the Harad. Harad came. Say hi. Harad finally came in the Nandor Glade Guard, and they're just trying to do what they can to push through. And Belfast Marines, they're getting ready to fire, and that they do. They fire right into this giant blob of troops. We have the Watchers of the Golden Wood. They're firing up and over, which is very sad to see. But over here we have definitely the Rangers, and the Rangers have a very good position. And it's doing massive damage, as you can totally see. It's just literally good. They are also counter-firing. They have the Serpent's Fangs. They're trying to do what they can. These Belfast Marines are almost out of ammunition. And yes, yes, indeed, they are out of ammunition, and they will soon be committed into that front. But yes, indeed, over here, the Balclaw tribesmen and just basically everything. There goes the catapult. It is down for the count. No really good answer to that. Big swarm of troops here. It almost seems like the end is here. We have the Blade Masters here trying to fight off these tribesmen. They're doing quite a good job. Blade Masters are just really good. They're just swinging their swords around, just cutting these guys down. But we do have Camul's chosen. There are only 27 of them left, but they're trying to get up. It looks like they're trying to get after these, these Elder Council. But we can definitely see that the Camul's chosen, they are very spread out, and it looks like Rune has decided that he wants to recall them back into a safer position. Yes, indeed, the Belfast Marines, they have engaged. They're trying to do what they can. But man, the trebuchet, it's perfect. All it needs is one good shot, and we're just, pardon the language, but we're screwed. We're so screwed if it lands a hit. Oh man, our arrow fire, luckily, it doesn't fire. But if it did, we'd be in so much trouble. Absolute big trouble. We have more Lothorian troops being committed over here. The Rangers, they have some ammo, but they're going back into hiding. Probably a wise move, and definitely Rune and Dorwinian are taking their sweet time. They're just waiting to chip away at these Blade Masters, who are fighting, doing what they can. But the Camul's chosen are down to 20, but they are fighting the Shadow Guard, who are very hard hitters when given the opportunity. And there we go, indeed. There's Rune's general. He's taken a whole bunch of whacks, and he's not going down all that easy. Not at all. And Camul's chosen are actually down to 13. These Blade Masters are down to 18, and they're swinging like there's no tomorrow. This is just absolutely great. Absolute mad lads they are. Over here, we're going to just take a peek at what's going on. Umbar is trying to move around the trebuchet. Going to try to putting it right over here, see if they can fire in on our last stand, which Gervais is so wisely putting more and more troops in. We're preparing for it. The Rangers are, I do believe, out of ammunition. Yes, they have their big swords out, and they're going to be committed into the fray against Harad. But definitely over here, Kamul Shadow Guard is doing what they can. Mordor, I believe, has admitted defeat as, you guessed it, the elites have returned, and I killed them. This was so great. Now, this was a great moment for me. I felt so giddy that this was happening because I have an elite unit of 22. They're excited, right? They just killed someone. And over here is Rune's general. He has like 8 guys. And look, he's moving the Shadow Guard away. He doesn't know I'm here. My units are too stealthily concealed within the minimap. As we can zoom in. Well, if you zoom in, they're not concealed. But when they're zoomed out, you don't know. But the Shadow Guard's moving away. The general's all by himself. He has 6 other guys with him. 22 should work. And there we go. This is the snipe. That's going to be the snipe of the century. Anyway, more Axemen are going in. The Axemen are fighting the Shadow Guard, trying to hold them off. But actually, the Serpent's Fangs over here are firing into the back of the Axemen, and it's not looking good. Watchers of the Golden Wood are down to 33. A lot of them have perished. Over here we have the Elder Council trying to get into position, and our front line is actually doing pretty okay. It's not doing too bad, all things considered, but there is the Trollman of Harad and more of these guys, which is Harad, though, as we can see, is fairly exhausted, even though they're fairly healthy. It's because all of them have been committed into the fight, and they are fighting, even though they're technically back here. I mean, these guys, they're exhausted, but they're still fighting, which is really bad. Over here, we're trying to hold Gamprim and Shadow Guard. Even the crossbowmen are getting involved, and it's just not good for us. Not good at all. Over here, yes, they finally realized that I was trying to snipe, and the Hammer Guard have involved themselves, and dang him. It would have been the snipe of a century, but over here, his general's on the front line. There's only 3 of them, and the dismounted Knights of the Silver Swan are doing what they can. They're getting this guy. He's down. This guy's gonna go down very soon. Look, he's down. That guy should go down too, right? No, he slips away like a coward. Like a coward. He has his friend take care of him. But that would have been so good. That if Rune's general died, that would have been a big, big bummer for the rest of Rune, who still has his Kamul Shadowbows. He still has his Balclaw Tribesmen. He has his crossbowmen. Now his crossbowmen, they don't have the best morale. So that would have been really great. These guys would have broken. And the Trebuchet goes in, hitting a little bit of friendly fire, but also hitting a little bit. So all things considered, it was probably a benefit for them, as they have more numbers. As we can see, it's 84 to 89%, fairly close right now. Just a 5% difference, all things considered. It being but still, percentage-wise, it's a 3 to 5. So 3 to 5 ratio, make it bigger. All you math nerds probably know all about that. But yeah, just our front line is thinning. It's still going a little strong, but it's also getting shot in the back by these crossbowmen. And this front line is getting shot in the back by these archers back here. And so Gervais has just decided we're sending everything we can into the final stand. Into our final stand, we have the Karskadahon's Guardians, we have Elder Council, we have Gwathi Mirdan, we have Imladris Sentries, we have Gwathi Arthand, we have some warriors, we have the Watchers of the Golden Wood, and we have the Haven Guard. So this is a very elite, very high tier final stand. It's not going to go down all that easy. But yeah, we can probably just ×2 speed it, as the doom is upon this front line. Actually, that's a ×6. I can't count. But yes, the front line has fallen, and Gervais has pulled back his general, and the archers are having a field day. For some reason, their accuracy isn't the greatest, but then they have to shoot through a hole, a tiny doorway, and they have aimbots or something, and they're just shredding our beloved scouts troops. And poor scouts, he wasn't here to move these troops at all, but he was. How would he know? How are we supposed to know that we would end up like this? And the trebuchet is just getting some good hits. I mean, trebuchets are notoriously bad for aiming, but they're doing so much damage. Oh my goodness, that's a lot of damage. It's just wrecking them. And Gervais and I, mostly Gervais, but we were trying to persuade our kind attackers to oh so kindly give up the attack of range. And actually, let's just go down ×2 here as we just enjoy the melee a little bit. But we told them, hey, just let them just charge at us. Scouts isn't here. Let us engage in melee. You have the number advantage. Just come at us, bro. But definitely, we are seeing a huge push from the Elvela, the Hammer Guard just going in. It's not good for the Gwaithiarthan because they're mostly armor, and well, the Hammer Guard is good against armor, so they're just swinging along. And also the Southron Pikemen, those were actually a really big problem for us because, of course, again, as I said before, they are AP and melee. Let's just zoom in our little mini map, and we can see all that red and all that, not red. It's not a lot. This is the only reason we're living is because of this narrow choke point. For the longest time, though, Gervais is so frustrated. You should have heard him. He was so frustrated that he was trying to get this Elder Council to fire, and he was. I mean, you can see that guy. The captain's just saying fire, 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 but they just wouldn't. And he was trying so many different ways. How is he going to get them to fire? He was complaining. These guys have the angle. But they're firing from farther away and everything. They're getting crushed. They're doing good because they can shoot. My guys are super close and they can't. Well, I'm sure one of you guys in the comments could probably know. But here we are. We're trying to just shuffle around our troops, because we're actually trying to avoid archer fire, but also let them in so we can kind of surround them and get that morale debuff. Because if you do look, Harad has lots of lower tiers. These the Southron Pikemen are pretty low tier. Muhad Beast Tamers, they're pretty low tier, all things considered, against what we have left. But these champions of Nafarat, of course, are quite dangerous, and we were not pleased to know that we still had to kill them. But we were fairly confident, even though it was 95 to 87. But we were doing our darnest. We were trying to hold back, but these these Imladris troops are just doing a very good job, and that javelin fire just, ouch, it hurts. Yeah, all that's left is our generals are standing side by side, in a theater. What would Shakespeare say to this? Tragic death in the theater. I guess this could be Shakespeare's new play. But anyway, more and more of the troops of Harad are coming in. As you can see, they're just piling through Muhad warriors. In the back, we have the Nandor Glade Guard and everything. And they're just pushing through as best as they can. I think, nope, they're still reloading. Gervais wasn't able to get him at this time, but over here, our best asset are the Guardians. They're getting a little trimmed down. They're at 53, but they are getting a little beaten up. We're trying to have scouts troops take the beating where possible, but as in such a little space, there's not much you can do. There are some troops that are glitching in this building over here, but we're holding them back as much as we can. We don't want to advance out too far because otherwise we would... here, let me just move it for you guys. There we go, a little bit better. Otherwise we would just get killed. And, of course, that's not good. Let's just times times 2 speed's good too. Actually, we can go to times 3. I mean, no one's ever really watched something at times 3 speed before, but now you guys are able to. Times 3 speed's pretty good. And as we can see over here, Scouts is just doing such a good job, even though Scouts is doing really good at the gym. Yep. Yeah, from the gym I can see he's actually on his computer, you know, making sure that his troops are doing well. We appreciate that. And here they are. They're just trying to do what they can, trying to hold back the just horde, and they're doing quite a good job at it too. Oh, man, to think we spent so long in this tiny little last stand. It's probably the longest last stand I've ever seen. It's been going on for so long, and if you look at the frame count, there you go, guys. Just you can see it just a little bit better. Then we have another 10,000 frames. 10,000 frames in this last stand. Don't call it cowardly, guys. We knew what we were doing. It's all strategy. But now, actually, the champions of Nosferat, they've engaged. They became the front line now, and this is just grueling, as they are just swinging and really taking out Scouts' troops. There's probably, I don't think, any more Gwathi Arthend, or yeah, that's what they are, right? Gwathi, the spear ones. Yeah, you'll know what they are. But definitely more and more fighting has been going on, and one guy routed. There they go. They routed, but now we do have the Gwathi Mirdan, and there go the Enlarger sentries. They sadly routed, as his general was long since slain. Over here, Gervais was so excited once his javelin men were finally able to fire. He was so happy. It was like Christmas Day, and because he's able to fire, and because there's no one in front of him, so he's firing right at those champions in Nosferat. And that's probably a really good use of the remaining javelin fire that we do have, killing very, very elites. But that's when we decided we were going to allow them to come in just a little bit more. I mean, these guys they're shaken, they're exhausted, they're about to break. We did let them in just a little bit, and we're hoping for that pincer maneuver to go in with the Lorian Axeman and his Watchers of the Golden Wood. We're just waiting. In comes Rune. Yep, there we go. We had some routing going on, and we're trying to come in, and this is horrifying. We have them in the middle. His general right there of Gervais, his general's fighting what he can, doing what he absolutely can, but that side's just getting slightly overrun, and I'm trying to get my guys in there, but they are in guard mode, but then I just told them to get off guard mode. That was a huge thing what we were going on. It's guard mode, off guard mode, no guard mode, you know, doing that. And it kind of looked like the end over here. I mean, all of those Balclaw tribesmen, the numbers just seemed so against us, and they are, but they were so against us inside our last stand. But then we managed to break them. It was great. Oh my goodness. But we still had 6% to kill, and we only had 2% left. Oh my goodness. I mean, we had very good elites, but our best asset, the Guardians, are down to 30. And that's not good. It's not good at all. Over here, I'm trying to keep them from getting to the Guardians by having my Haven Guard, involved more fully. They're trying to be up front, but we don't want to get too far forward, otherwise we get killed alone without the support. Oh man, it just wasn't good. Over here we do have some of the Serpent's Fangs over here, but he was just slain. We will just take a peek at what the attackers see, and all they see is just a handful of people fighting in a tower or in a thing. Over here we have Rune's general just chilling, not wanting to get sniped again. I mean, understandably, I don't have any other cards up my sleeve. The Trebuchet is still there. We have the Shadow Bows and the Marksman and everything, but it's coming down to the wire. I don't know how that Haven Guard just got up so far away, but he's gonna get killed pretty soon. And we're trying to hold them back. Elder Council trying to find another place to fire. But we're actually pushing them back. We were so cool. We were so happy that we're pushing them back. But as you can probably tell, our numbers are thinning. I'm trying to get my guys in there ahead of the pikemen, buy them time to, so they won't get hurt. Things are going as you'd expect. Not all that great for us. We're holding them. We're holding on. We're doing what we can. And in come the Nandor. And this is where it all just went south. All these Nandor guard, they're pushing their way through. My Haven Knights, Haven Guards, don't have the mass to hold back all of these guys. The poor Elder Council just routed because some units did just get up to them. These Glade Masters, they got around our troops and they're just going in. And as we can see, the numbers have dwindled. You could almost count them on your hands and your fingers and toes. That's all you could probably count them on. They've broken through, and with every death, the line gets harder and harder to hold, and more troops pour through, surrounding the remaining defenders. And as we can see, it's 100% to 96% already. But the Haven Knights are fighting strong, and I do believe that the last of Gervais' troops were slain. But oddly enough, out of all of this, there's still some Imladris troops. There's one guy of Imladris, of the Gwathi Myrdian. They're still fighting strong. It's just my Haven Guards, and him, and the one elf from Scouts, and the one guy from Scouts. Funnily enough, Scouts was not here for like most of this battle, but his troops were the last to die. We're last to die. Oh my goodness. And of course, as with sadness, the map did crash right at the very end. But Gervais did get the most kills. Then it was Scouts, and then it was me. But it was super close in kill. Well, Gervais, of course, he was MVP. Congratulations. You can talk with him about the kills and the specifics. But I really wanted to save the replay, but I couldn't just because mine crashed, and he sent it to me. And thank you, Gervais, for sending it to me. And I know he sent it to Scouts, and he did a video, but I wanted to do it too because I really liked this battle, even though I lost, but it was great. I revel in my defeat. But anyway, this was a really great battle, and I really hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed the interesting take that I did on it, and I hope to see you guys next time. Take care, everybody. Bye.